Hello, everyone. We apologize for the delay. We're having a couple of technical difficulties initially, but we have that all sorted now. Gonna wait just a minute, allow everyone to filter in before we get started. We appreciate everyone taking some time. If you are on the East Coast, we know it is lunchtime and it is the end of the day in London if people happen to be there. If people all across the network. All right. So looks like we are slowing down with participants. Just wanted to note that we will be recording this session. The session will be sent out via email following the session in the next couple of weeks. So please be on the lookout for that. No need to remember everything, write everything down because we'll be sending it out with some additional information. Hello, everyone. My name is Jake Goldblum. My pronouns are he, him. I'm the Associate Director for Global Network Pathway Programs supporting the London campus. And I'm here with a number of our colleagues who are on the ground in London and doing the great work there. Can we go to the next slide, please? So we have a number of staff members here. Some I'll have them introduce themselves as they come up for the presentation in their section. But we have a lot of our great team joining us today and able to answer some of the questions via the Q&A. So we do have a Q&A box at the bottom of the screen. We'll look to answer those questions primarily throughout the session as we are going along. So please feel free to ask questions as they come up, but also remember that something might come up a little bit later in the session too. So feel free to also watch along, and if you have questions, feel free to ask. So we'll have our team members introduce themselves as their section comes up. And so throughout the session, we will be talking a little bit about preparing for departures, arrivals, living in London, learning in London, student life in London. We do have a student with us who's currently in the program, be able to share their experience, recommendations and advice, and then upcoming communications. So we do have upcoming communication that'll highlight all sorts of information for everyone. So no worries again about writing everything down, about knowing everything now. We'll be sharing a bunch of different communications soon. So with that, we are looking to get started. So we'll shift to the next slide, please. So preparing for departures, I do want to hand it over to my colleague Faye, who can get us started chatting about the visa requirements and visa process. So we'll go to the next slide.
Hi, my name is Faye. I'm part of the visa team here in London. I'll be going through the visa requirements for students who will be coming to join us for Global Scholars in January. So for non-visa nationals, these are students who hold a nationality of US and EU. Students do not need to apply for a visa to study the Global Scholars Program. They get a visa upon entering the UK, an electronic visa. In order to enter the UK, you must declare that study is your main purpose of visit to the immigration officer if you're asked at the airport. It's important that students read the standard visitor visa guide on your application status portal. And it's important that you check the list of documents that you should carry with you when coming to the UK. Independent travelers should not make travel arrangement via the Republic of Ireland. You will not obtain the correct visa type in your passport, so you will need to leave. If you do travel through Ireland, you would need to leave the UK and re-enter before you're able to attend any classes. If you're traveling independently, it's important that you complete the flight ticket Google form by 15th of December. So all students should have received the Google form from us via email. And if you're unable to access the Google form, please do let us know by dropping an email to us. Next slide, please. So the second slide I'll be going through is for visa national students. So these students must apply for a visa prior to coming to the UK to study global scholars. Students must complete the Global Scholars Visa Google form. So if you have made your visa application and you have received your visa, it's important that you upload it via the Google form so that we can review it. And also it's important that you provide us with your flight information if you're traveling independently, and also upload that on the Google form. Upon entering to the UK, do not travel to the UK until you receive your visa. You must declare your main study, declare that study is your main purpose for your visit to the immigration officer if you're asked at the border. And it's important that you check the standard visa visa guide on the application status portal, and check the required documents that you should carry with you when coming to the UK. Again, if you're traveling through Republic of Ireland, you won't obtain the correct visa stamp, so it's important that you travel to England, and that if you do travel to Ireland, you are required to leave the UK and re-enter again. So I'm just going to go and pass it on to the next colleague who will go through the next slides.
Hi, everyone. My name's Ben. My pronouns are he, they, and I'm one of the residence life managers here at Northeastern University London. I am going to be briefly talking about our GDPR policy. GDPR stands for General Data Protection Regulation, and the best way that I can explain this is that it's very similar to the US FERPA laws. And so what that means is that we are not able to discuss anything around your academic or personal circumstances with anybody except you, the student, without your written permission to do so. So what this means is that if a parent or a guardian reaches out to us and wants to know anything about anything to do with residence halls or your academic standing, or really anything to do with you as a student here at Northeastern University London, we are not able to give them any information unless you yourself have sent us an email saying, I would like to waive my GDPR rights so that you can talk to this person. This is really important to just kind of keep in mind. It doesn't necessarily come up all the time, but if somebody does reach out to us, we will have to say we're not able to talk to you until you, the student, have waived that right. Next slide, please. Wonderful. So some things to think about as you're starting to think about coming here to London. Some really important pieces about living abroad. So mobile phones. This is important. It is a requirement to have a working phone here as part of the program. And so there are a few ways that you can do that. You can either inquire with your current cell phone provider about an international plan for the duration that you're here. So that way you can keep your US number, or you can look at getting a UK number for the time that you're here. As long as you have a working phone that's able to receive UK calls, we really don't mind whether you get a new number or keep your number. If you are looking at getting a UK number while you're here, we do have a few recommended phone networks that you can look into. And that's something that you should ideally be setting up sort of as soon as you arrive. I think it's also important to recognize that there is a time difference here in London. For some of you, you might have people who are 5 hours behind. Some of you, it might be even more than that. And so having realistic expectations when it comes to keeping in contact with people back home will be very helpful. It means that you won't be getting calls in the middle of class, or waking up your family members in the middle of the night trying to talk to them. As well, when it comes to banking and budgeting, as you're here for such a short amount of time, it is, I think, probably unlikely that many of you will open UK bank accounts. If that is something you're interested in, you are more than welcome to inquire with some of our staff. But if you are looking to use your US bank account while you're here, just make sure you're kind of looking into all that that entails. And then finally, medication and prescriptions. It's really important that you're not trying to ship medications over. They can get caught up in customs and all sorts of things. So while you're here, if there is any medications that you need, please try and bring a supply for the entire duration that you're here. If that's not possible, that's okay. You'll just need to reach out to a staff member when you arrive. You can reach out to your residence life coordinator, and we will be able to help you try and set up doctor's appointments to get refills that you might need. I'm sure you're all looking forward to packing. There are a couple of things to consider. The first is that when you come to London, it will be in January. That's the middle of our winter here. While it doesn't snow like it does in Boston, it is pretty gray and rainy. So make sure that you're bringing sort of appropriate rain gear, a raincoat, maybe some boots, maybe an umbrella, if that's what you'd like. However, please keep in mind that you are here for a short time period. And so there's no need to bring, bags and bags and bags. When you get the coach from the airport, it will drop you off close to the residence hall, but it is not door to door. That means that you will have to walk with some of your luggage. So make sure that you have enough items that you'll be comfortable, but not so much that you're not able to carry it with you. Some other things that you might need to keep in mind is that while it doesn't get very hot until sort of the June, July period, there may be a few warmer days in April, and air conditioning is not really a thing in the UK. Devon House, where you have your classes, is air conditioned, but the residence halls are not. So make sure that you also have some things for more of the summer months. As well, all of our plug sockets are different from those in the UK, so you might want to think about having a few adapters or converters. These are also things that you can buy in the convenience stores that are very close to the residence halls, so you don't really have to worry about bringing too many over before you arrive. It's very important that there's also, or that we also mention what not to bring. Any type of knives are not allowed in the UK. Please do not try and bring them over. Additionally, firearms and anything like mace or pepper spray are also not allowed. Please do not try and bring them with you. Please do not try and have them shipped to you. And then for a full list of items that are prohibited, you can check out the US State Department website. Next slide, please. Awesome. So while you're here, especially, this is more, I think, geared towards the end of your time here. Some of you may want to go traveling after you're done your semester. We do have a few storage options that we recommend. Again, this presentation is being recorded, so don't feel like you have to try and scribble down everything. It is important to note that you are not able to send mail to your residence hall before you have checked into the residence hall. That's because they won't have you listed as checked in, and so they will return all of your packages. If there is anything that you would like to ship, you'll have to do it after you check in. Again, these are some options for if you would like to kind of store things, or, if you are planning on traveling after you are done your semester and you'd like to have some bags shipped back to your home, we have some options for that as well.
Okay. Hi, my name is Tosin. I'm part of the student life team here in London, and my pronouns are she, her. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about arrivals, how it will work, and everything else in between. Next slide, please. So when you guys arrive in London, which is Monday the 8th, this is the only day that we'll be providing transport for you via coach. If you are arriving after or before this day, it will be up to you to make your own journey into London and into your own accommodation. We're mainly going to be based in Terminal 2 and Terminal 5. So if you do have a flight that is landing in Terminal 3, it will be your responsibility to get yourself to Terminal 2 to get onto a coach as well. There will be a staff member there who can direct you. To get to Terminal 2 via Terminal 3, you will have to take the tube to get there, or you can walk through the tunnel, but it is better to take the tube there. And then from Terminal 2, you'll be placed on the coach as well. If an independent flyer who would like to go on a coach as well, that's absolutely fine. If you arrive on the day and we have space on the coach, we will allow you on, but our first priority will be everyone who had requested a coach and everyone who is on a group flight as well. You won't be allowed to move into your residence hall early as well. So if you are planning on arriving to London earlier, it will be up to you to try and find your own accommodation. While you're here, we'll only be providing you to help you to get your accommodations on the 8th of January. Next slide, please. Travel from accommodation to Heathrow. So we all have coaches available for everyone who has requested some. Your coach will probably depart at least an hour and a half after your flight, just to kind of give us some time, because we also understand that flights can be delayed and everything as well. Please understand that coaches don't have lots of luggage space. So if you can please keep your luggage to at least 2 large suitcase maximum. And you will, like Ben mentioned, you will be walking from the coach drop-off to your accommodations as well. So just making sure that you're aware of that. If you're not in a group flight, but have completed an independent travel form, we will at Student Life directly email you to double check if you want to be on the coach. So please make sure that you fill in that form, or if you haven't filled that form or you'd like to change it, please do email Student Life to say otherwise as well. Next slide, please. So traveling around London, all students will be given an Oyster card when they check in at their accommodation. You'll be able to use that throughout kind of traveling in London. But before you get your Oyster card, please be aware, if you're not taking the tube, taking the coach, you will be having to pay for your own transport to get to the accommodation. We recommend taking the Elizabeth line, especially since it's one of the closest lines to a lot of your accommodations, and it's also the quickest as well. You do also have Heathrow Express, which is also available to you as well. You've got Ubers and taxis that are readily available, but you can also, if you want to save some money, take a coach from Heathrow Airport to different locations across London and then make your way from there to your accommodation. Next slide, please. Like I've mentioned, you'll be able to get a Oyster card once you check in with your check-in at your accommodation. The Oyster card will allow you to travel freely in London between Zone 1 and Zone 2. If you travel outside of Zone 2, you will be responsible for paying for your own travel, and your Oyster card will stop working until you've topped it up. Within London, your Oyster card works on the tube, it works on the bus, it works on the rail stations as well. There are certain areas of London that take the train. They don't actually have a tube. Your Oyster card will be able to, will be used on there as well. But please do make sure that you are checking what trains you're using. One of the best apps that we recommend for people to download before arriving into London is City Mapper. It's the way most Londoners travel in London because it gives you the most accurate travel times and also journeys as well, along with the costs as well. London does have Uber and it does have black cabs as well, and your Oyster card can't be used on those as well. We do recommend everyone, especially if budget is an issue, to use an Uber over a black cab, just because it is cheaper. And we do recommend students to take a black cab or an Uber or any form of taxi that has been TfL affirmed during nighttime, just for your own safety as well. Sorry, I was just going to add to the Oyster card situation. If you lose your Oyster card, it will be up to a 6-week wait to get a new one. During that time, you will be responsible for your travel, and you will have to pay a £25 fee for lost Oyster card before getting a new one as well. So please make sure you really hold on to that. Okay, now I'm done.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Iker Itoiziaurri. I go for the pronouns he, him, and I am the resident life supervisor who will help you to set up in one of our student accommodation. Next slide. So as a student here in London, you will be living in one of our 4 student accommodations that we have across East London. So basically they are Chapter Aldgate, Chapter Spitalfields, IQ Aldgate, and Chapter Old Street, all of them in a walking distance to the main campus. All of these student accommodation have the same amenities. We have 24/7 reception, mailboxes, TV room, nice security team, a student space, and communal space. Next slide. So in terms of the room, in the room setup, all of the rooms have a compact double twin bed, a study area with desk and chair, closet with a storage space, a double bed, pillows and linen packet, and a kitchen package. Important, towels and bath mats are not included, the same with the small appliances like a toaster or kettle or cleaning supplies. Next slide. So we had different rooms in our student accommodation. The most common is the studio rooms for one person. The 4 accommodation had the same things. It's a private room with a private bathroom. In the personal kitchenette, you have the combi, microwave, fridge, and induction hob, and obviously the kitchen pack. The only one, next slide, sorry. The only one that is slightly different is Chapter Spitalfields, where some of you will be sharing a 2-bed apartment or 4-bed apartment. In the 2-bed apartment, you will have your private bedroom, but you will share the bathroom, the kitchen, and then you will have the kitchen pack and the small breakfast bar. And then you have the 4-bed apartments. It's very similar. You share, some of them will share the bathrooms, or they will have a suite bathroom, and then there is the same. You will have a small living space, a shared kitchen, and obviously you will have the same welcome pack. Next slide. And that's it.
Hi, everyone. Me again. I'm here to talk about residence life and what we can do for you as students here on the London campus. So residence life is here to help build community outside of just your classes. What this means is that we have staff. Everybody is assigned a residence life coordinator, and they are people who will make events in your building where you can meet other students. They also have community groups that we will have family dinners for when you first arrive, so you get to know other students. Our coordinators are also the people that you will have your monthly Husky chats with. I think that you all are familiar with those. They are things that are also happening on some of our other campuses, so they'll continue here in London. And you'll get to meet your RLC a little bit later in a webinar. Again, these RLCs also host events for smaller groups. We also have some building-wide events. And if you'd like to know what Residence Life is currently up to, you can follow our new Instagram, which is reslife_NU London.
All right. Hi, everybody. And thank you, Ben. It's great to speak to you again. My name is Kushal Safi. I use he, him pronouns, and I head up the Global Safety Office. In the next 3 slides, I'm going to help you become familiar with safety information for the UK and health and safety options for your time during for your trip during the London time. Right. First off, on this slide, please read all of the State Department travel advisories and security reports that are included here. And we're also hope that you share these links with your family. These are important links to help you understand what the safety and security situation is in London or in the UK, and also if you're traveling during your time away from the UK, you can also search travel advisories for the other destinations that you're traveling to on side trips. Second, review the customs guidance for the UK. This will help determine what you can and cannot bring into the UK. That's a really important item. And then what ultimately you have to declare if you're traveling in for customs duties. And lastly, on this slide, as with any other large global city, there are risks, right? So we're going to offer the following general advice to increase your personal safety. Specifically, always pay attention to your surroundings, stay in groups, travel in groups, report anything that's unsafe or peculiar to the RLC staff and building management. You have to have a working cell phone while you're in London. So, we talked about some of the local cellular providers. Please get one when or as soon as you can when you arrive, and also store local emergency numbers in the phone. So make sure you have 999 for police, fire, ambulance, emergency, 111 for medical advice, your RLC's on-call number, which will be provided to you when you arrive in London, and the Global Safety and Support Hotline number, which is in the email that you will get once you're registered with that you're in London. There's also a globalsafety.northeastern.edu website, which will have a lot of this information on it also. Also, if you consume alcohol, as most of you will be of age and legally able to obtain alcohol in the UK, we ask that you do that in moderation and in a safe manner. And if you have any issues around that, please talk to your RLC. Finally, avoid any protest activity, as even peaceful demonstrations can turn violent. Next slide. Ben mentioned earlier prohibited items. And in addition to that prohibited items list that Ben talked about on the U.S. Embassy's website, this link here, or the QR code, will direct you to the UK Border Forces page on what is allowed to enter the UK and what is prohibited, and then also explains how to declare and what needs to be declared when you enter. That said, I want to highlight a few items on this list of prohibited items, which you can see to the right side of the slide. Please do not bring knives, pepper spray, mace, other blade or edged weapons, stun guns, tasers, firearms, or firearm parts with you when you come to London. These items are illegal in the UK, and you will be arrested if authorities find you with these items in your possession. Next slide. And the last slide here is a quick overview of medical support services and insurance during your time in London. First off, if you're taking any prescription medicine, you should review the UK guidance about carrying medications into the country. The link can be accessed via this QR code on the page. There are many restrictions depending upon the type of medication and dosage. So to first check out this page or the link here. And if you have any other questions, I'll give you an email at the end of this so you can reach out. Once you arrive in London, there are a number of different avenues to obtain care. As a reminder, 999 is the emergency number again. 111 is your nurse helpline. There are National Health Service operating throughout the country. They operate all the emergency rooms. These are commonly referred to as A&Es, or accident and emergency. These services, 999, 111, and the A&E, are often free of charge, but can take some time to access, just like any other city and even in the US. Even though that said, the London campus does not have an on-site infirmary or clinic, there are a number of options that the London site does have to obtain care. The first one is telemental health services via Find at Northeastern. There's also another option that's managed by the London site itself. The London team has a pastoral and wellness program. They have wellness care advisors, and they can pathway you to medical support. To obtain these items, please go through the RLC staff. They can refer you to the wellness team on site. Further, students have access to the Global Safety and Support Network via 24/7 hotline. Again, that number is on the email that you'll get registered and on the Global Safety website. In that, the Global Safety and Support Network, they have a nurse helpline there too that's managed by our response provider. They can also help set up appointments and specialists through a private medical pathway, and they can provide medical and safety advice to students when they're using that hotline. Students also need to have personal insurance when they travel. So I suggest that you speak to your personal insurance company to learn how your policy works in the UK. But that said, the university also has an urgent and emergency insurance policy for travelers while they're abroad or outside of the US. This will work in the UK. To use the urgent and emergency benefit, you're going to need to contact that Global Safety and Support Network hotline to open a case, and the GSSN can help you set up an appointment. There are some exclusions to this benefit, so please review the insurance page on the globalsafety.northeastern.edu website, and you'll see the summary of benefits. Lastly, I want to just put a plug in for the RLC staff. They are your first line of support. They're in all of the res halls. They're able to help you whenever you need it, and they can pathway you to the best level resource for whatever assistance that you might need. If you have any questions, throw them into the chat, and I can answer them on a one by one situation. That said, if you have specific medical questions, please email mytravelplans@northeastern.edu, and we can help you get a resource or connect you with somebody on the RLC staff. All right, thank you for your time, and over to my next colleague.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Nina Rowland. I'm the Associate Director for our mobility programs in London. I use she, her pronouns, and in my role, I oversee the student academic experience in London. Next slide. Thank you. So I want to tell you a little bit about what it is like to study in London and what your academic program looks like, starting with our academic calendar. So your arrival date is 8th of January, and classes start on the 15th of January and they end on the 26th of April. You will have a midterm exam week in February for courses that have midterm exams. During that week, you can also use office hours for your courses to meet your professors and ask questions that you have. You will then later on in the semester get a 2-week break for spring break or Easter break, and that will be between the 25th of March and the 5th of April. And finally, you will have your final exam week at the very end of the semester, again for courses that have exams. Next slide, please. So I want to tell you a little bit about some key differences between the US higher education system and the UK higher education system, especially now that you have had one semester in the US, in Auckland. You will find some differences when you arrive in London. The academic program is completely integrated within the Northeastern Boston curriculum. However, because courses are also accredited in the UK, it means that there are some differences and your courses need to follow UK regulations as well. So for example, there are differences in the grading system. So in the UK, we use numerical grades that are slightly different to the numerical scale that you might know. And we don't use letter grades. So what happens is that when you receive your assignments back here in London, you will see your numerical grade. And then it will later on be translated into a letter grade for your Northeastern transcript, and it will count into your GPA as well. Other differences that you will find in our grading system is around the turnaround time to get your assignments and feedback once your assignments have been graded. It's typically longer here in the UK because we have what we call a moderation process. This is a process that ensures that all the grading has been done in a fair, reliable, and unbiased way. So once it has been graded by a professor, it is then moderated, which means it's kind of scrutinized by another professor just to make sure that everything has been consistent and fair across courses, across students, and across cohorts as well. In our grading system here in London, it is also crucial that you attend all your assignments in order to pass a course. So if you don't show up for an exam or if you don't submit an assignment, you will get a 0. And it means that you will need to make up for that 0 in order to pass your course. And there is a process to do that. It's called our second sitting or a resit period. In case you have failed a course, you can go to the second sitting to take assignments that you didn't submit or that you failed, and this will help you to pass your courses. Although if you go to second sitting, your assignments will be capped at 40%. So it's important that you sit all your exams, that you submit all your assignments on time. And one of the other differences that I want to mention is around attendance and extensions, and the fact that here in the UK, everything is centralized and it goes through our registry office. So you might be used to go to your professor, for example, directly if you need an extension for an assignment. Here, it doesn't work like that. You will have to fill out specific forms. The forms will go to our registry office. They will scrutinize the form, and then they will let you know the outcome of the form. And similarly for attendance, it's good to let your professors know that you will be absent, but you will also need to fill out forms. So there are some differences in policies. Once you are here in London in January, we will go through them with you. We will go into all the details at on-site orientation, and you will be able to ask further questions. Next slide, please. So I want to show you what I mentioned about the differences in the grading system with this conversion chart. So you can see the chart here, but don't worry, we post it everywhere. So again, once you are in London, you will find it in different places. It's on our website, it's on the Canvas pages. We will send communications as well with this conversion chart. So this is simply to help you understand what our numerical grading scale means if you want to translate it into a letter grade and into GPA points. You can see that the numerical scale is quite different from what you are used to. For example, anything under 40 is a fail. So a 40 is a pass. It's a D-, and anything above 70 is an A. So don't worry if you get a 68, for example, and think that, oh no, that's not a good grade. 68 is actually an A-, so it's not bad at all. Again, you will have this conversion chart available in different places, so you will be able to use it to see what it means when you get the grade that you get on your assignments. Next slide, please. And finally, I want to tell you a few things about what it is like to study in London and on our campus as well. So a typical classroom environment here at Northeastern University London is that you will be mixed with London scholars who are our students here with us for 1 year before they move on to the Boston campus. You will be also with global scholars who spent their first semester in Boston. And typically there are between 20 and 30 students per class. Some classes are smaller, some classes are a bit bigger, especially, for example, if you have a lecture for some STEM courses. Something that is typical from your courses here in London is that we have integrated experiential learning. And here in London, it is mostly related to cultural activities such as co-curriculars, for example. So co-curriculars can be activities connected to your courses, to your learning outcomes, such as going to museums, going to evening theater trips, and all this is integrated into your courses. In terms of your course material, everything will be available on Canvas. We use our own instance of Canvas in London, so it will be different from the one that you are using. And you will find all your reading lists and everything you need there. In case you need to buy any books, for example, you will be told when you arrive here in London. You will see that in London, you can use many library resources. You will have access to several libraries in London, which are also a great way to discover the city. And finally, I want to tell you a little bit about your workload. So it will be very similar to what you are having now. You will usually have 3 hours a week per course in a class, but you will also need to provide some independent study to work in your own time as well in order to succeed while you're here. And that's it. I'll pass it on to academic support. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Hillary Merle. I am the head of academic support. So I'm here to tell you a little bit about our team today. We have within our team academic advising. Our services include giving guidance on time management, organization, note-taking, and active listening skills, academic policies, study tips, and more. We also help students select courses and will aid in your transition from London to Boston. While you're in London, you're assigned advisors here as your first point of contact for all things academic. So please reach out to them instead of attempting to contact your Boston advisor first. Your advisors in London are also assigned based on your college and your major. The academic support team also includes specialized tutors. We have a learning differences advisor who specializes in supporting students who are neurodiverse or have learning differences. We also have an English and writing advisor, and this tutor provide support to students in developing their academic English skills. Throughout the semester, she hosts a variety of workshops that hone in on academic English skills and writing. And finally, we also have a math tutor who will be able to provide one-on-one support to students taking any math courses. He usually specializes in Math Methods 1 and 2, which is Calculus 1 and 2, and Calculus for Business. Next slide, please. I've just got a few reminders and things that we typically get questions on. So if you are transferring credit from another institution, AP or IB credit, in order to receive any of that dual enrollment AP, IB, or A-level credit, you need to report those to the Northeastern Enrollment Management Team. So please keep in mind that you can only have up to 32 semester credit hours in transfer credits. This credit will show on your official Northeastern transcript as credit for the NU course equivalent, but it will not have a grade, so it does not affect your GPA. For information on how to report credits, you can reach out to an academic advisor on your current campus. And if you're hoping to check and see if your credits have been received, just email transfercredit@northeastern.edu directly, and they should be able to check that for you. When it comes to changing courses or add drop, that happens a little bit differently in London. At this time, we are not accepting any requests for changes to your course registration. We will be able to make changes again during the first week of classes, which is Monday, the 15th of January. You'll receive more information about add drop in future emails, and you can scan the QR code on the screen for more information about our policy. We do recommend that you read through the add drop policy so you can be aware of what reasons are accepted to request an add drop change. And just remember, even if you're requesting a change, it doesn't mean that we can guarantee that your request will be accepted. You should also be receiving an email regarding online enrollment. So when you're completing your online enrollment, the courses that you're currently registered for will be listed there for you. There will not be any other confirmation of your official registered courses, so please make sure when you're registering online that you take note of what courses that are on your online enrollment form. We also wanted to let you know that you'll receive your official course schedule, which we call your timetable, during your orientation in London. The timetable will show you when and where your lectures and your labs will take place. And just to let you all know, there are no 8 a.m.s, so you're welcome. And just another note to drop by and meet your advisor during the first week, during Welcome Week. So we'll have advisors in the Student Hub, and we'll send you an email and let you know where to meet. So please drop by and see the team. And that's it from us.
Hi everyone, I am Jade. I'm a student support coordinator from the Student Support and Development team. The Student Support and Development team are able to support you with a range of matters such as general support relating to your studies or any personal circumstances. We offer mental health advice, learning support plans, financial and budgeting advice, and overall we are here to help you navigate your university life. We offer confidential advice, guidance, and support on anything that is affecting your ability to study or affecting your mental health and well-being. The teams are able to make referrals into relevant specialist support such as counseling. Just like you find at Northeastern, we offer Spectrum Life, which is a 24/7 student support service that they offer confidential free phone line and online chat function that students can use 365 days a year. That's next slide, please. So we have a disability team. They are the wellbeing coordinators, and those that are registered with the DRC or SAS, you won't need to submit any further documents unless your circumstances have changed. So the student wellbeing coordinators will review your documents and prepare a learning support plan for your time at NU London. Reasonable adjustments might differ between the different sites, depending on your national academic standards and regulations. If you're not registered with the DRC or SAS, I would suggest emailing studentsupport@nulondon.ac.uk. They'll be able to help you with any adjustments you have, either if you have a medical condition or a disability, which could be mental or physical. And they will help you with a learning support plan for your time here at London. And that's it from me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Susie. I am the head of student life here at NU London, and I use she, her pronouns. Next slide, please. So what is student life here to do? Well, for student life here, we are here to help kind of promote student leadership, encourage your personal development, and provide you with a calendar of events and activities to help you build your communities and to get to know one another at NU. We develop all of the outside kind of classroom learning experiences, so anything kind of relating to course, and we also kind of deliver all the programs along with Welcome Week, which my colleague will talk to you about shortly. We also work really closely with our student union, which is our form of the student government, student voice, and making sure we are listening to kind of students and developing things that you want. And we help oversee kind of the clubs and societies that will be on offer to you in London. Next slide, please. So what is the student union? So NUSU is our student government, and they exist to help provide advocacy and community for all students during your time in London. They're a group of 7 elected students, and they range over different degrees and different year groups, and they work alongside student life and organise their own in terms of organising a wide range of events and initiatives. They also do a lot of work in terms of like fundraising and volunteering. You'll often see a bake sale in our campus hub. So please feel free to reach out to the London, we are to the student union, and they'll kind of be able to tell you what activities that we've got on. We're in the process of electing a new student union, so they will introduce themselves to you formally in January. Next slide, please.
Hi, it's me again. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about Welcome Week, the highlights and everything in between. So all of you know that Monday the 8th is when you guys will arrive into London, and then Tuesday the 9th is when you do visa checks and enrollment. And it's really, really important for you guys to make sure that you make the time to go your visa checks and enrollment. The RLCs will be the ones who take you to campus to make sure that you have a guided way while you're there. And then on the Wednesday, we have our induction sessions at IET. And this is where you'll be given more information about how NU London runs. You'll be given more information on the different departments that we have, hear from faculty members and also other staff members that you're not hearing from today. We also do events during the Welcome Week, which is going to be the week that you're here. So some of the stuff that we have confirmed is a welcome mixer at All-Star Lanes, which is just a way to make sure that both campuses, Oakland and Boston, can get to meet each other. But you can also mingle with other people from your campus that you may have not met before. We're also going to Lion King and The Wicked, ice skating, and London Dungeons. We will be sending out an email with all of the Welcome Week activities that we will be providing for you while you are here with us. But please note that there are, these are all activities available to you, but please do not, take over by getting every single activity. There'll be more things throughout the year while you're here with us. That means that you'll all be able to go to a theatre show and you'll all be able to do something fun and exciting while you're here in London with us. During that Saturday and Sunday, we'll be doing a London Eye and a boat cruise across the River Thames. And again, these are activities that if you possibly can, make sure that you don't pick both days. Just choose one of the days as well, because we want to make sure that everyone can get an opportunity to do all of the activities as well. Next slide, please. Some of the questions that people have already asked is about overnight trips and events and excursions. I'll probably talk about the overnight trips now just because it's a lot easier to talk about. So we all have the dates on here already. We'll be sending out an email for all students to register the dates that they would like to do the most. Please bear in mind that we will try to accommodate all dates that students have requested, but that may not be possible as well. So we ask you to choose 3 different dates that you would like to take part in the overnights. You don't have to do the overnight trips as well. Just to let you know, some of you may not be interested in going to Manchester and Bath, and that is absolutely okay as well. When we send over the form, please just say you're not interested in going. You'll be able to, again, mix and mingle with other Global Scholar students throughout these trips to Manchester and Bath. Manchester will be taking the train to get there, and Bath will be taking the coach, just because we're stopping at Stonehenge and then making our way back to Bath. Since it's an overnight trip, you'll be staying at our hotel for the night as well, and we'll give you more information close to the time in terms of what to pack, where to meet us for the meeting point, and dates and times of the different stuff we have on itinerary for you. And in terms of events and excursions as well, some of the events that you can look forward to is musicals in the theatre. We've also got Circus Soleil as well. We're doing day trips to Cambridge, Brighton and Oxford, Harry Potter Studios and the Big London Blake, plus lots and lots more be possible. Again, we'll be sending you an information sheet with all of the different activities that we're planning, so that you can have an idea of what you would like to do. And then once ticket sales are available, it's up to you to kind of make sure that you get your tickets as well. It is a first come, first serve event, unfortunately, but we do have waiting lists available for people who drop out, because there are dropouts available as well. And I think that's it. This is Ollie.
All right.
My name is Oliver. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm a political science major at NU London right now as a global scholar. And I consider it like I was doing a super great flight here. And the transition, it was pretty like it was good. I'll say, like, we got out of the airport like as a group, and then we got right into like a car which took us right to our accommodations. And I was super tired because I didn't get any sleep on the plane. So that was super helpful because I didn't have to worry about like getting on any train or like worry about like calling an Uber or anything for myself. So that was certainly something that was super helpful when I got there. And as for like involvement on campus, there's like so many societies, and honestly, the events are all really cool for them. I'm not even a business major, but I just went to one of my friends' like business society meetings, and we ended up all having a really good time. We had snacks. We like watched a presentation all together. It was a good time. And there was also, which I honestly can't recommend enough, the student union events. A couple I went to were the rock climbing event that they had, and the game night, which was honestly my favorite, and how I made a lot of my friends here in New London. So I would definitely recommend getting involved with this because it's a real highlight of the program, and it's just something that really kind of makes being here special. And as for living commuting, the Oyster card is super helpful, especially because the tube prices are pretty expensive, and not having to worry about that a lot of the time is super helpful. Like every day I take the tube, I haven't paid anything. And being able to do that is super helpful because it's raining all the time in London and super windy. So I'd definitely rather take the train a lot of the time than walk to class in the elements. And just like, I know this isn't a practice class, but I really recommend being here. I know it's like super exciting being in a new city, but like being still trying your classes is really important. Like I know from experience, like the London classes are super hard. like in one of my classes, there's like 90 students and only oh, my mic is cutting. Sorry, can you hear me okay? All right, sorry about that. So, as I was saying, the annual London classes are super difficult. It's not just like kind of a free semester. I know that you know, it seems easy, like 70% seems easy, and like when I first looked, I was like, oh, 70% super easy, I can do that. But it was really hard. I was humbled very quickly. And a lot of students also felt the same way, so it's still really important to try our classes. And yeah, that's is that good? Yeah, anyways, yeah, just emphasis on trying new classes still, even though it's like super exciting being in London.
All right. Thank you, Oliver. I think we can go to our last slides. So thank you all so much for attending today. I know we are just at time, and I wanted to thank our London team. I wanted to clarify GDPR quickly and just note that so there is no blanket waiver. There will need to be the rights will need to be waived by students on a case-by-case basis with the office or staff member that they are working with in London. I am the primary parent contact. So if parents have questions, you can reach out. And I work closely with the London team to provide any resources or answers to questions, but you should come through me first. And then I can work with the London team to figure out any questions that we have. And yeah, so we do have, like I said previously, we do have a lot of upcoming communication. So coming up soon. So everybody should be getting some information soon about the DRC webinar that's coming up. We're going to be sending out a transition email, which is going to follow up from this session. So you're going to get the recording of this session along with some additional information. You'll get the Know Before You Go email, which will have some even more specific information about your arrival, about traveling, all of that. Early December, you'll get some room allocation information. So again, no worries about that just yet. Mid-December welcome week schedule will be released. And then we have the flight booking information. Please be sure to be completing all the flight booking information that you need there. The Not Long to Go email will be toward the end of December. The first mobility newsletter will be coming out the beginning of January. And then the first week of January as well, Residence Hall webinars. So lots coming up. Again, no need for people to be worried about communications. Will be communicating very regularly. So I know the next slide is for Q&A. We are at time, and I believe we've answered many questions and most of the questions. So I think we'll just skip to the last slide if we could do that. So if you need to reach out, feel free to reach out to the Global Scholars general email. You can reach out to me as well. Like I said previously, you can stay in touch via social media. And then, yeah, so we really appreciate everybody taking the time with us today. We'll be sending out the recording, like I mentioned previously. Thank you to the London team. Thank you to Oliver. And thank you to everybody who helped facilitate today's session. I hope everybody has a great rest of your day, a great weekend. And if anything comes up, let us know. Thank you, everyone.